Okay, this is to me on Broomstier Street when I lived in New York. And it was sent from Albuquerque on March 11, 1976.
Is Soul gonna come back here? Okay.
And he puts little birds on the outside.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Oh, cool.
Why I didn't leave my maiden name, I'll never know. I've always had lots of names. Becky, Rebecca, now it's Poppy. Oh, I love this one. I remember this one. I love the first sentence. Rebecca, there is a syrupy harmonic plain blowing sweetly and drug-like through the pinyon trees here at the bottom of the culminating southern energy of the Rocky Mountains. Down the plateau, south of this hillside home, is nothing but promising country of cowboys, hardy women, and the ghost of Pancho Villa. The lover that kissed me last night became a maid before I awoke, and in emotionless effort changed the kitchen into a sweet-smelling room of sausages and pozole. I feel in love with her hands because she only wanted to see my eyes, which I cheated her of. Now I'm alone again, without a thigh and tit to think about, so I have spent the evening feeding the fireplace and getting near tears as I read William Soroyan. He said something about living one's life as a jocular gesture without a bookkeeper's attitude. After all, what we lose makes us sing stronger if we only realize what we lost is power that gives us the primitive, gut-striving force to continue to lose and gain again. Life in capital letters. And the spirit one feels while walking down the avenue, in your case, or strolling down the people-shadowed trees of the mountains, is all that each of us ask. We would be greedy if we wanted too much. I think we have enough, don't you, T? These are beautiful letters. I'm so sensitive today, I hear them strong.
What a way to open a letter. There is a syrupy harmonica playing,
I loved it. I just loved that whole letter. I remember that letter.
blowing sweetly and drug-like through the pinyon trees here at the bottom of the culminating southern energy of the Rocky Mountains.
Also perfect because this is the day you get to meet Sol Quicari, which literally means the Song of the Pines.
Really?
Oh.
That's his name.
Cool.
That's the feeling when I was thinking about that name.
Yeah, the whole letter has just beautiful feeling in it.
Yeah, that beautiful feeling of like that gorgeous, like you could feel the thickness of the hair. You can
Yeah.
also the temperature of it.
Right. And he had such love of the beauty of the world and the people, and then the opposite was part of his personality, which is everyone's if they accept it.
Yeah.
It's interesting, in almost every letter, he references like the boundaries that he sets between him and like the women in his life,
Yeah.
like without fail.
Oh, yeah. It's all, after I got all these letters, I thought, geez, every one of them's about women that he won't show his eyes to or fall
Yeah.
in love again. But this woman that came to Oklahoma City once, which is not important, all those pieces of paper I kept at the address and stuff to go see her and meet her. Elizabeth is really who he was always in love with, or maybe was his muse that broke his heart and he could never love again.
Yeah, I remember you talking about.
Yeah, and he and I both, when we met, we were both in heartache. So it was easy for us to relate to each other from the very beginning. But then, as I told you, one of those letters say, you are not so brittle anymore, because I was brittle over heartache, which is a funny, interesting word to say somebody's not as brittle, because I didn't know I was brittle.
I hated.
He knew he was. He knew his pain.
Got away with words.
Even just the way you described the woman that made him breakfast, I was like, made me want to eat breakfast.
Yeah, he probably didn't have many women making breakfast.
Well, like I can totally like the the word, like the way he described it, like is like imagine like exactly how the kitchen would have looked before she went in, and like how it would have looked afterwards with like, you know, a bachelor artist, you know,
Yeah.
probably like had like crusty plates and like beer cans and like
Guess what? It didn't.
really.
It was always nice and neat. I barely went in the kitchen except to open the refrigerator for a beer, but he kept everything real nice and neat. And, you know, his bed was always made. His rooms were very nice and neat. And it was small. And it had beautiful views. And he rented it from a really nice man that was a dentist in Santa Fe that became a painter. After TC died, he became a painter, a very good painter.
I feel like you can't live in Santa Fe without becoming a painter.
These don't go in order, do they?
These are all in order.
Oh.
Yeah, I painstakingly made sure all the dates were in
Thank
order because you gave them to me. You're like, these are in order, and they were all out of order, and all of the envelopes were not. None of them matched.
Yeah, but I tried.
Oh yeah, you gave it. I mean, just the fact they were in the book, I was very impressed.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I saved him, and I thought in my sleep last week there's one missing, and it could have been one of the very last letters he wrote me. Not unless it's in here. He was one of the main important things he did in his life is do this big mural up north somewhere or where. Do you know what I'm talking about? Some city in Native American Museum or Cultural Center. He did this enormous mural of all of Indian history.
That has to be either El George or that has to be trying to get the places that would be like important as a cultural hub for that kind of thing.
I want to say maybe someplace like Seattle. I'm not sure. I just don't know. It wasn't a
Could have been the
large.
Seattle Art Museum.
Huh?
Could have been the Seattle Art Museum. So
Yeah,
they
I
have
just-
a huge program for Native
Yeah,
art.
I don't know, but I remember it's, you know, a woman coming up. It's like people coming up from the earth, and it's beautiful. It's a big mural, and it seems like he was the most proud of that because, you know, he felt honored they asked him to do it.
Yeah.
He got to go up there and do the mural, and I remember him sending me a picture of it because he was so proud, and I don't have that picture. So one of these days I'm going to go through stuff again, and
Oh, you'll probably find tons of weird stuff.
well, maybe not because I was pretty. I put the letters away and put a tie on them and stuff. But maybe, you know, I know there's some loss because I would be out of town on most of these letters. But every time I had a chance, I just got in the car and drove to Santa Fe to see him. I felt like he needed me and I needed him.